Alrighty, so today I wanted to revisit the wonderful world of Ostriv here. Now, this game is really cool, but the last time that I really tried making videos on it, I think I was overthinking it, honestly. I was trying to make really complex and overly edited videos, and the reason I was doing that was sort of to make up for the fact that my recording software was bugging out really hard while I was trying to record it. So I think that if I am just a bit more careful, I think I can get away with keeping it nice and simple. So I do know for a fact that we have an iron ore deposit over here that's infinite. And there's also a stone deposit there that's infinite. And I believe over here is limestone that's infinite. Okay, so already I'm starting to get some pretty solid ideas of what I want this to look like. We could start over here. This is a bit hilly though, is my only problem. That's a super hilly spot. We could also start somewhere over here. That'd probably be a bit more ideal. Yes. Because, well, the iron and the stone's gonna be kind of far, but the limestone will be close here. But if we go with the hill, then the iron deposit's just right there. Then again, we could just fully start over here by the iron deposit. I think that's what we're gonna do, honestly. What if we just start right around here? So let's go ahead and boom, just like that. Now we need to, of course, get through the beginning year. The first year is pretty important because we need to ensure that we try and get as many houses constructed as possible so that our population doesn't want to move away right away. Okay, so looking at it, all sorts of really cool buildings. I really like this game. I really like city builders. I really like resource management games, and this game combines the best of both of those worlds. On top of that, it's just such a cool game. Yeah, I really like this game. And really, I was just sort of psyching myself out last time I really tried to play this, but I am pretty excited because it's been a while since I really tried to get into it too much. And what I'm kind of thinking is we should start with, you know what I kind of want to do is leave all of the buildings sort of how they are. That way, well, nah, don't overthink it. Let's do, can we see, yes. Rotate 90 degrees. Okay, that's good. I like that. Let's do that here. Yes, let's do that, but right around here. I do kind of want to make like a central square in this area. Potentially something leading over here and something leading over there I think would look nice. So let's start with like a little central square here. And all of the first people here, I want them to sort of live a dual purpose in having their home set up so that they can produce plenty of crops for us. So let's see here. Place multiple buildings, rotate building, customize building placement. That's what we want to do. Now, I'll get into some of my ideas, like my mentality, my philosophies for this game with some time, but part of the idea is that I do like, I should be in the fenced in area. I do like the idea of making the population's homes like these, what's it called, plots of land that have a house on it. I do like making these pretty much as long as they're like possible to be, if that makes sense. Not as long, but as large a field for them as possible. So if we hit enter, there's a house. And see, this is another thing, is that I would do a bunch of pausing and then like just a bunch of planning, and then I would never really get around to doing too much else. I would just plan, and then I would hit play and there wouldn't be anything for me to do besides sit there and watch. So I think I'm going to switch it up a bit. And let's press play more often and simply watch as the population builds stuff up. And I want to place 1, 2, 3. Charcoal is going to be our first major export. And the forestry and stuff like that aren't really super possible to have women working in them. There is one place that women can work, and that is, if I can find it. Carpentry, forestry is on the next page. The thatchery. The thatchery. Women can work in the thatchery, so we'll go ahead and place this down, but it doesn't have like an insane amount of job slots. So anytime that women are free, they're going to bring firewood on over to these charcoal piles. And that'll be good because that's going to be our first major export. We want the forestry, and then let's do the thatchery. And then we're also going to want to open up all of these job slots so we have as many builders as possible. And while that's all happening, let's set down our next little home here. Press F1 here. Let's place you there. You there. You there. You there. And let's do something like that. Cool. I'm happy with that. I do want to use up all of this land that I can, so we might as well extend this to here. And bring you on to here, and then you as far as we can this way. Cool. I like that. Looks pretty good. And is this straight? I don't think it is. So let's do that. And then this one, I'm kind of thinking we put it here-ish. Press enter. Let's do another home somewhere around here. And it would be nice to have this household take up like as much space as possible. I don't think we're going to get away with too much here. We can probably get away with this though. Yes, I'm content with that. Cool. So now we have our first 4 homes, but there's a total of, what is that, 9 families? So there's 4. We need even more though. And I'm kind of thinking that we can do one over here like this. Just placed it outside the border. That's fine to me. How is that looking? 7 trees need to be removed, but that's alright. And I like that. Let's put their house over here in the corner. A tad bit too long. Content. Go ahead and hit enter there. Another village house with a garden. I'm kind of thinking we can do this one like this. This might look kind of cool. I think that looks fine. So let's get a sense of what everything's looking like. We have houses and fields, and all of these fields are going to inevitably turn into crops for a little population here, so that's good. Let's go ahead and, I think that's 6. Let's go into ×2 speed, ×5 speed, I guess. Just to let that get built up. Everything else, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we need 3 more of these. So let's go ahead and do 2 more. I'm kind of thinking... Wait, we only need 3. I hope that's what I said. Honestly, kind of thinking this could look good. No, we want to rotate this. Create a clay pit for our houses. Let's finish what we're doing here, and then we'll go about building up a clay pit. That right there looks even to me, so this one has got to be a little off. We'll leave this one sort of just straight down the middle. I think that'll look fine. Cool. So another house done. What is going on here? What is this? Can't find any wood anywhere. We need to hire in workers. Let's do 2. This, let's do 2. And then we need the clay pit. So let's do that. Production, clay pit. Plenty of clay over here. Maybe we make like a little industrial zone out this direction. Like that. Let's move you to the very front. Cool. So hopefully that all comes together. For these higher options, there should be, I was going to say almost no reason for women not to be working, but let's fire 1 guy. And that should free him up to want to work here. Might have to fire 2. How many men are looking for work? I think everyone's a little bit busy doing something else. Oh, no, now we have those 2 guys. Let's see if there's anyone else searching for work. No. No men looking... Oh wait, 1 man looking for a job. Maybe we try and hire him in here. Perfect, okay. So now every single man is working, and women should be working whenever they get the chance. Let's bring bark up to the maximum. Might as well get it done. Logs, wood, firewood, all looking good. Clay pit. Village houses are coming together. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Where are these trees that need to be cut down? Let's try and get them guaranteed to be cut down. Is it these ones? Oops. And that tree there, I think, is the only one. Okay, I believe that's all of the trees we need cut down. Now let's go and see. This one needs like 5 cut down, so all along there. Okay, I think that is all the trees marked that we're potentially gonna need. This one needs a total of 9, so maybe we just try and guarantee that we're getting all of them here like that. Oops. Cool, so village house is finished. Very good. Cool, cool. So now this family here, as you can see, they're starting to grow their own crops, so that's good. Very, very good for us. And then all we gotta do is set up a granary, and they'll be able to bring food in. And then we also need... I wonder what they're gonna produce. We'll have to give it a bit of time. Very good. So we have 1 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We need 2 more. Let's do 1 here. We should be able to hopefully align this with the rest of the houses. As well as this. There, let's make these guys face this way. I think that looks fine. So there's another house done, and let's go for 1 more house, maybe here. That looks good to me, and I'd rather not have to chop down any more trees currently. let's just keep it simple and do something like that. Try and make sure that it looks nice and has nothing but right angles. So that's all the houses that need to be built, so now we just need a bit of time for this all to come together. Cool, I wonder, is there some keys to get rid of the UI is my question. Definitely don't need no map up. Are they producing firewood is my question. Looks like they're sort of trying. Someone's out here collecting clay, that's fine. We have no more men looking for jobs, right? We have one man looking for a job. Let's hire him in here. Hopefully he goes there. I hate whenever they, like, will leave the forestry, and you need at least 2 people working in the forestry, so it's kind of annoying whenever they leave that job site and then they're just, like, not producing wood. But with all of these houses, let's get a good look at it all. So as you can see, we're kind of creating a square, and that's where I want, like, the beginning of my little village to be. So normal village houses like this one, we're going to place them in a row like this, and then another row like that, maybe to here. And then we'll just start putting like production buildings and have a little store here in the center, and I think that'll all look rather quite nice. Okay. Yeah, this game's really cool once it like really starts to get underway. I have made it to the point where we were constructing actual row houses, and that's really cool, but I mean, I don't know why I never finished it. We were like literally, we had an entire square of them done, and it was looking pretty good, and I should have kept up with it, but after like 3 months, 4 months had gone by, my will to really like continue that one was gone, because I think what happened was I like botched one of the recordings, and so now I think I'm going to be a lot more careful with it and do everything I can to keep things looking good. Another house, that's good. We're going to need to, there's so many like little things that you need to focus on. Little resources, you need to make sure everyone's got like food, and you got to make sure that they got water, and you got to make sure that they got clothing. There's just so much. Wooden bridge, stone bridge, that's cool. Trading dock could be kind of cool to see set up. Haven't done any of the trades to any of the like river settlements. Let's set up a well. Set it up there, and we'll move it up to, let's just wait until all the houses are done. And then let's do another well, I'm thinking. Thinking right there. Will probably work well. No pun intended. And then we should maybe even start to focus on iron as soon as we're done with all of this. Like, the economy of this game, I think people overthink it way too much. Way too much. They try and like pay their little citizens and stuff. But the fact that you can get away with like a completely controlled economy means that like each family should have $10, 10 little ducats, whatever it is. They should have 10 ducats each in each family, and then that should be it. They should never have more than that, and they'll generate more than that, right? So we're gonna cap it at, I believe, 10 little ducats, and then that'll be it. That'll just be all of the money that each family has, and I'll show you how to set that up. What we need to do is actually get rid of the camp center, so that'll be like step number 1. Let's look at some other production buildings while we're waiting. Probably be a good idea, not the smithy, but the carpentry. Let's set up a carpentry. I'm thinking over here in this corner could go well, I think. Set that up there. I also want to do a small granary, so let's do this one here. And then it would probably be a good idea to set up like a village house somewhere around here, so let's do one here, and then another one here is kind of what I'm thinking. That could all look pretty well. Definitely take a bit of time for it all to come together though. And all of this land is being used, which is pretty good. Definitely want to not leave any land being unexploited. This is one of my favorite aspects of this game. It's the fact that you can like fully watch just everything come together. Brick by brick, wooden beam by wooden beam. Try decorating your settlement. We'll consider it. I think that we need to actually fully see the square really coming together before I try and go and do any decorations. Yeah, I can't believe this game is like this good. Because I played a lot of different games where you gotta manage resources and where you build little townships and stuff like that, and none of them even get close to Ostriv, honestly. And once you like really grasp like the finer details, then everything really comes together. These guys are producing honey, I believe. These are little beekeeping places. That's cool. As you can see, they have 300 honey. These guys, are they producing raspberries? I don't think so. That'd be really nice. I've actually never seen raspberries produced. Clearly that's cabbage. It looks like these are carrots. No, carrots aren't in the game. Not sure what that is, but I guess we'll have to wait and see until crops are actually picked up at the end of the year. But yeah, that's like how you start out, is you do a bit of like, you have the population support themselves by giving them lots of land to, you know, grow crops on, and then you tax them as little as possible, and in doing so they'll be able to produce all their own food. As you can see, that's all going to become farmland, and in the next year, the year after, whenever everyone's living here and we get a fresh start to the year, then, you know, it'll be nothing but crops growing out here. And then we'll probably extend that further out in like this direction, and then actually fully set up a like state-ran farm. That'll be like the ultimate bit of growing that we can do. And I think there's just so many little things about this game that's really fun. I'm curious as to what does this look like if we look at it. The actual iron mine. Let's see. Oh, that looks pretty good. So we could probably do it like right around here or something like that, right? That'll be pretty cool. So we'll be able to produce iron, but before we actually do anything with it, we're gonna need to set up the smeltery. And the smeltery can't be on a lake. It's actually gotta be on a river, which is kind of sad. So we'll have to find a river that isn't too far. But before we do that, we might just give it a bit of time. Maybe we can even just sell some of our iron. It does last forever, this iron mine, so yeah, we'll probably end up just selling the iron off. Real quick, let's go and have a look-sees. If you scoot all the way over to the border and then hover a building over the edge, you'll be able to notice where, what's it called, the traders actually come in at. It's clearly not there. I think it's actually all the way over here. Yes, so as you can see right next to the building, this little blue square, that's where the trader will show up at. And I think on the other side was, oh no, here's where the river trade comes in from. So they're gonna have to like sail. Do you sail down a river in a little riverboat? I'm not sure. They'll have to navigate down that river all the way from over there. Yeah, so definitely not this side. So maybe what we can do is give our hand at a bit of river trading this time. I'm kind of thinking it could be kind of interesting to build like a second population center over here. We'll have to give it a go with time. It's already September. So when does winter start? Winter's only 3 months long. Oh wait, I don't know what it is, but like as a kid, I don't know if I like missed that day in school or something, but I never like learned definitively my months. And I like seen a video the other day and it was like some little kid and he was talking about his months and he perfectly did it. And like I always forget like 1 or 2 months, like May. So it's April, May, June, July, I think. Either way, one thing I do know is that you can spell out my father's name, Jason, within the month. So it's like June, July, and then it's August, September, October, November, right? Because that spells out Jason. So September, next up is October, then November, and then December, January, February. I think those are the winter months, right? I was born in February, but I don't even know if it's a winter month. Either way, hopefully all is well. And we already have 2 of these charcoal piles finished, which means that we have like 17,000 units of charcoal ready to trade away, but we'll need a bit of time before we can do that. And we're also going to need an actual trade post. Maybe we could extend over here. That could be kind of cool. Not sure yet. I kind of don't... That's one thing that I don't really like about this game is the fact that, like, the hills will really kind of mess over uneven terrain. Yeah, like, that was all uneven, but it seems fine over there. But, like, right here, you can't build on this hill. Maybe you can get away with, like, building, like, a field or something here, but by and large, really steep hills like that, you're just out of luck. But how many houses? We still need, what is that, 6 houses left? October. Hopefully winter doesn't start in November. I don't think it does it? Hopefully not. Either way, we'll have to... Like, you don't need to have all of your houses done. We still have 5 families living in tents. You don't need to. I've made it with like 3 or 4 families still living in tents and then they moved away. So now we're down to 4, but I mean, like, they will, like, slowly, it'll be slow if a bunch of families move away, but they will eventually finish them up. And once they have them finished up, then, what's it called, more will move in as they finish the rest of them, so you'll be fine. So granary, we have the granary here, cool. Finished another one, so 3 families. October, I think it does start in November. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can get through November and get like at least 1 more family moved into a house. That would be ideal. Carts are wearing out. Build a carpentry to repair them. Well, if the carts wear out, then we're just gonna need to do it by hand. That's fine though. What is kind of nice is the fact that, what's it called? This bench here, this little campfire. These are decorations and they will stick around long after everything else is demolished and you can individually go through and demolish them, but I don't think that you can actually build these things. You can build like actual benches and stuff, but you can't go... Ooh, gazebos. We should set up some pine trees and stuff. I want to stick with whatever trees these are. Which ones are these? Pine trees. So we live in an area with pine trees. So, any chance we get, I kind of do want to have some additional pine trees sprouting about. That'll look nice. I don't think that we're going to be able to put... Yeah, we can't put... That's kind of sad. We can't place trees in people's properties. I should have made some of these like fields just a little bit smaller so I could fit like a row of trees between their property. Like that would have looked nice, but a nice little touch. So we only have 2 families left living here, and we did actually make it into November, so that's cool. And I kind of doubt that they're actually going to finish this entire house within like half a month. That would be nice, but probably not going to happen. And you know what? Let's go ahead and... Now we want the water done, and then the carpentry done, and then the granary. And these village houses, we could probably just pause them for now. And there was something else that I was thinking about. Trade and transport, we're probably going to want to do market stalls at some point-ish. Maybe we can do... I gotta think about how I want it to look in the end. Could do like a square with market stalls. We could put a little fence around it. Maybe even some arches. Arches could look cool. Do a small arch leading into the little market. Maybe we could put the small chapel in the middle of our little square. That could be kind of cool, I think. Yep, 2 families moved out, but that's fine. That is totally fine, I would say. So we are going to get rid of all of these open slots. We want to make sure that the forestry is fully staffed at all times. Because if it's not, then, you know, we're not producing wood, which can be pretty detrimental. Really slow things down for a long time. People aren't going to want to move in though, because what's it called? We don't have a market set up. So it is kind of sad, but we're going to have to wait a bit of time. No market, no jobs available. So we do need a market. You know what? Maybe we just sort of try our best. Let's just see what happens if we just simply place down a market stall. Maybe we try around here. Oh no, that's the wrong direction. Let's demolish you then. How's that looking? Not enough food for sale now. Okay. Before we finish this market house, let's just do the granary next. And then at least one of the wells. And then we'll do the other village house. And then carpentry after this well. And then I reckon we can unpause these. Because the granary is going to be our central food storage. And of course we're going to need that. If we want to actually bring food into our market stalls. So let's go ahead and actually set up another small granary. I'm thinking here, and then let's also do a warehouse over here, I would say. Cool. So now what we need to do is wait for all of this to get built up. And hopefully, like, my initial problem was that it was like really like jittery whenever I would move the camera around, so hopefully that's not much of an issue this time around. So with the granary, we'll be able to purchase food from our own population. We should actually try and do the first main government building, the town hall. Maybe we could put it right next to the thatchery. Although, I do kind of want to do a construction office here. And then we can do this town hall here. I like that. Let's move you in front of this, and then that's the warehouse. We could probably move this in front of that warehouse, in front of that granary. And yeah, I think that should be good, even in front of these 2 houses. And then maybe we move this village house back a bit. to here. Okay, I think that's a better lineup for everything. Because, you know, we need the granary right now to get people to even move into the one house we completed. Water's pretty important. We can probably wait until that's after the houses. Wait until after the houses to put that up. The carpentry is going to be really important, like right now, because I'm pretty sure our carts are probably all broken. Yeah, 2 of them are broken, and this one's not doing too well, so give it a bit of time there. And yeah, production, everything's gonna be exceedingly slow while we don't really have the population, but because we can have a completely controlled economy, I'll show you some pretty nifty tricks. First and foremost is that you can set up like 3 construction offices, and on top of that you have your town hall, and that's just like 4 whole construction crews, and with that many, like, buildings will literally fly up in one rotation of workers. Like, it's pretty crazy. And then, you know, we're not like hemorrhaging money at all moments of the game, so we can just have like as many people doing literally whatever we want. I mean, in a normal world, in the real world, I don't think people would really want to work in a little civilization like this, but the fact that we're here doesn't really matter too much. Let's set this up to... I don't like to buy from, like, set it to automatically buy from locals. I like to go through and specifically choose. So let's do beetroot, cabbage, carrots, cucumbers, dried fruit, garlic, horseradish, and marrow. Right, let's get rid of the last one just so I can make sure. So we don't want to choose anything that the population themselves can't produce, right? So beetroot, cabbage, carrots, cucumber, dried fruit, garlic, and horseradish, they can all make these. And I just want to make sure that we didn't miss anything. Butter, they might be able to make that. No, they can't. Cheese, cherries, chicken egg, chicken meat, dried fish, flour, honey. Oh, honey. So let's get rid of horseradish. And let's do honey and then horseradish. Okay, that's everything. And these numbers, I believe, even amounts. Yeah, that's perfect. That is perfect. And we don't need to really set this up to actually have like workers. I'm thinking we make laborers, women, and children. Children don't, like, even though you can like set settings for this, I've never seen children actually work literally anywhere. But yeah, let's leave this here. Can we copy resource list to another granary? That's pretty cool. So I'll show you exactly like my mentality with these granaries. I've never actually done this, but I think we're going to actually try this in this series here. And what you can do is set these up with these specific goods, and that's where we're making a second one, because with the second one we'll ensure that we're gathering every single resource that can possibly be gathered by the population's own production, right? With their own little fields. So everything that they can produce, we will be gathering it in one of these 2 granaries. And because of that, what I think I want to try and do is, there's like a setting somewhere. Take from other granaries. So let's turn that on, and then, what's it called? Buy from local producers. Let's turn both of these on, right? And so what I'm thinking will happen is, if there's a granary that's completely full of, say, cucumbers, but there's another granary that has no cucumbers, then that one without cucumbers will come over here to buy them from this granary. And so by doing this and having it set on these specific goods and the other one set on the other specific goods, no matter where we are in our little world, let's say that there's another group of houses over here, and it's got 2 granaries near it, then every single good that can be produced by these guys will be gathered in their granaries, and if they have an excess of a certain good, they'll sell it to other granaries, and then if they have a deficit of a certain good, then they'll go and gather it from those granaries. And so it's just like a huge system where we'll be spreading out the goods that they're producing in their own little personal farms. That's my idea, at least. So we'll see how well it works. I'm not sure if it'll work at all, or if we'll hit like a loop where people will like loop back and forth between it. I think actually I seen a, what's it called? Like in one of the patch notes, I was just quickly reading through it, and I think I seen something about that. It said people won't go and gather goods from granaries or something like that, like over and over. We don't want men. Let's hire like 2 female. Yeah, see, now they're gonna go and gather up all these goods. That's good for us. And then what we can do is let's start the market with, let's do beetroot cabbage. And we'll do 2 things of beetroot and then 2 things of cabbage. We want this to only hire in women. She's gonna gather up the beetroot, that's nice. And then this next one we can do, what's next? Beetroot, cabbage, carrot, cucumbers. Come on through, choose carrots, cabbage, carrots, cabbage. Don't want men, and then just hire in a woman. Cool, so now she's gathering these goods. Running out of nails, we need to build a smithy. Nails left 132, so let's pause the game here. Do we have enough nails to produce a smithy? We have just enough nails. That's not good. Let's build a smithy here, and then I'm thinking this will sort of be like the end of our, what's it called? Little square here. We'll kind of round it off here-ish, I'm thinking. So we definitely need the smithy done, and then, oh, we finished up the carpentry, that's good. Perform preventative repairs. Let's take in a worker. Let's open up literally every single work slot that we have access to. And hopefully things go well with a bit of time. We just need to make sure that there's at least 2 workers in the forestry. Like the only thing that I'm ever really worried about. Do we have enough nails for this? Yes, we do. Yes, we do. I hope we do. No, additional resources required. So we should have enough nails for this. And then we have 20 nails left over, so we're cutting it close there. Yeah, and so now we should see the houses gathering up all their goods. Let's see what we're looking like in here. Look at that. So already we're doing pretty good. And then once the other granary is done, we'll get a good sense of like all the different goods. Is this last one done? Just gotta remember garlic. So if we go through, let's see, I know marrow, onions, peas. Marrow, onions, peas, potatoes, I'm pretty sure, pumpkins, I know for a fact. And I think that's just about everything that they can produce themselves. So what I want to do is let's pause this real quick. Let's get rid of honey and horseradish. After dried fruit should be garlic. Dried fruit and garlic. Honey. Horseradish. Even amounts. And then these 2 things. Should be good. I don't know if we really need this many female workers working here. We could probably get away with 1, honestly. This many women workers. And what I usually like doing is actually having it... Oh no, did I do cabbage twice? I did. Beetroot, carrots. Beetroot, carrots. Or beetroot, cabbage. And then here we wanted carrots and cucumbers, I think. So what I want to do is let's do cucumbers here, and then carrots here, and then cucumbers here. Let's come over here and do cabbage here, and then beetroot here, just so it looks like, you know, nice and spread out. Like an actual market. Who would want all their goods, like, all right next to each other, And once the storage is actually put together, then we'll put a bunch of clothes and shoes and warm clothes in there. And then we'll set up 1 market stall that'll sell each of those, so that'll be 3 goods and then firewood. That's usually how I set that up. And these market stalls are really just to get us by for now. I do want to actually set up something a bit more elaborate, but that will definitely take a bit of time. Workers, 2 there, some there. We need the smithy, and then I want to do the town hall. So let's get rid of all of these job slots. Let's get rid of all of these job slots. Let's get rid of all of this, and we'll have just 1 worker in the carpentry for now, and then let's open this up. So hopefully that's good enough. No men are looking for a job, but they probably will. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. No housing available, no jobs available. Okay. Well, with a bit of time, we'll be in luck. Hopefully. Carpenter, can you? Not enough metal parts for repair. Okay. That's the issue right now. And we're actually going to have to import smelted iron to actually do anything. So even though we have access to our iron mine pretty close, it's not going to serve us too much of a service as a service. And just thinking about it, I'm trying to think where I want the actual large part of our town to go. So let's go do a bit of scouting around. We're gonna want somewhere ideally wide open and flat. You know what I'm thinking here? Look at this. Look at this. I'd say that's pretty wide open and flat. Maybe over here in this corner. I don't really like the idea of like building the main part of the settlement in a corner though. Maybe we can extend on into the corner, but I do think this is gonna be it. This area here, and then maybe we can kind of like curve it, kink it out a little bit, and then head towards these trees. We're gonna have to do quite a lot of tree chopping to make it into this area, but it kind of would be cool to build like a big church up here on this hill and surround it with just nothing but houses all the way down and through. So lots of really cool ideas, but actually putting it all like into action is pretty difficult to do. So we finished up the smithy. Let's get a new worker in. Let's fire you, sir, in the hopes that he'll come work here. And then for nails, honestly, let's turn off nail production for the time being, because I would rather get some metal parts done. Let's only try and gather up 15. Hopefully he's able. Nails. We should be doing okay. Not enough iron, he's bringing it in. What we can do is hire options, and then we can, or no, resource supply, we can do laborers by hand and by cart. Let's turn off laborers by cart. So laborers will bring in the goods that we need, and because we set up all of our charcoal production earlier, like now it's less for us to have to worry about now, because, you know, the smithy needs charcoal, which makes sense. And this guy should have everything he needs to actually get our carts actually up and running pretty soon. Not sure how many parts are necessary for each cart. Will it tell us? No. I'm not sure. So we'll just leave this on metal part creation until a bit of time passes by. Well, we're about to have the town hall finished, which is pretty good. So how many was that? I think he was at like 10 in total. No, 8. It looks like 8 exactly. Maybe only 5. Yeah, 5 metal parts is enough for 1 cart. Okay, that's interesting. So let's leave it on 15 for just a while. And then what we can do is do resource supply. Let's do laborers by hand. Just, you know, anyone who's not working currently, you can go and carry some stuff into the local smithy or into the local carpentry for some money. And that'll serve us rather quite well. So now we have the mayor here, which is good. We could hire in a counselor. Let's do hire options. Oh, for counselors. Nice. Let's only choose a woman. And ideally, what I would personally like it to be is like actually his wife. It's not always going to work out like that. Only makes sense. Treasury resources. Okay, so now comes the important bit. Let's talk about the treasury. Village house rent, I like to go with all of the minimum settings, right? No. How would I do this? We go land tax to the minimum setting, and then we find land that's like as large as possible, and we can see the land tax is 0.74. So that's pretty important. The largest of land is going to be under 0.8, right? Their land tax. So that's pretty important if you were going to set up like an actual economy. We're going to cheat the system anyways, but that's pretty important to me. So what I'm going to do is let's do 0.75. So if you live in an actual village house, it's going to be a little tiny bit more expensive and you don't have land, but you know, it'll be fine. And then wealth tax, we're going to bump this up to, oh, you know what? Is this different? No, the threshold is different. So if they have more than 10 ducats, then we're going to charge them. Let's go with 5 ducats. Yes, so we'll wealth tax them 5 whole ducats, which means, you know, technically they should never be able to make enough money to really make it past that threshold. Laborers and a basic monthly wage of only a ducat. And then we want to purchase everything for like literally as little as possible. You can't go 0, or in other words they won't sell it, but we want to choose it as small as possible, and we'll sell it for twice as much money. I think this all looks pretty good. And this should allow our money to start going up again for a while. Cool. Wealth distribution, yeah, see, families with over 100, we're going to want them all in the yellow, so it'll take a bit of time, but it'll start to even out in our favor, which will be nice. Carpenter. We want just a little bit more, and then we're going to start producing lots and lots of nails. Reach the limit. Oh, okay. Are all the carts up and running? We're missing 1 cart, so he's got enough metal parts to repair that cart, so let's turn on nail production. Honestly, we could go with like 200 nails, that's probably enough. And yeah, treasury's looking good. Our money should go back up to almost nearly back to the 2,000 that we started with. And now all I need to do is finish putting all these houses together. And then get the granary down. Let's move that up 1 step. You know what? Let's move that to the front. Let's get the granary all done. And then I'll be a happy camper. Just trying to map out in my head how I want this exactly to look. Like, what is it? What would it be? How do you go about building like a little square? Where do the market stalls go? The first like 2 times I ever made like a little square with market stalls in it, they look so nice, but ever since then, I don't know, like, I feel like I would always try and rush it, and that would kind of ruin it most of the time. So I think that planning something creative and decorative is gonna end up making it look pretty good. I think I see it. Okay, what I'm kind of thinking is, what if we build an actual church over here with a fence around it? Make it look nice and neat, build some little, what's it called, around it, trees and shrubs and stuff just to make it look nice. Maybe put some benches out in the little yard. And then we'll have a little square here for maybe like just a couple more market stalls. And that'll be hopefully pretty good. And then I'm thinking here we'll just make like a decorative area for people to like hang out and put some benches and trees and stuff. And then we'll just go through and place as many pine trees as we can around, and that will hopefully look pretty good in the end. No one's got around to planting any of our trees, I don't think. No. Do we have to change a setting to that? Ah, no. Guess they'll get around to it on their own whenever they find a moment. Small granary, that's what we want. Thatch, clay, wood, nails, thatch, clay, wood, nails. Yeah, they should definitely be able to do that. And what I'm kind of thinking is, what if we don't do this construction office? I wanted to, but I think it's more important that we have this open. And maybe we move it around this corner over here. Do a construction office here is probably going to be better. Oops. Literally the last moment I moved my mouse. That's good enough for me. And yeah, it just takes a bit more elbow grease from our population here. It's probably going to be like the second year before we actually fully start to get all of our like job slots filled in and whatnot. No housing available, no jobs available. So let's open up one job slot there. And actually, let's not. Let's wait until everything's done before we do that. We're going to want to hire in one worker for this granary as well. And we'll go through and choose all the goods that people can produce. Yeah, look at all the goods that we're producing. So we definitely should be able to feed ourselves for a while. Oh yeah. And that's like the major reason as to why I think it's important to give them big yards. Because if you don't, then, you know, they're going to have like a small little plot of land. And they just won't really produce enough. Small granary is finished up. So now let's start going through. And we ended on which one? Horseradish. So let's start there. Horseradish, let's do marrow. After marrow, we can do onions and then peas. After peas, we can do potatoes. You know what? Potatoes might not. No, potatoes aren't proper. They're not right. Pumpkins. And I think that's it. And so to find out for sure is we can click this. Yeah, so see that? If there's any goods that people are selling, any of their own personal goods, then clicking this will show us which ones it is. And so the fact that we can't is sort of proving that we're getting every single possible good. So now we can do 1250 through all of these. 1250, and then we can change these all to these things here, and then we can hire in one female worker. Don't want to hire in a man, so let's fire you. Then hire someone else. Cool. So that's looking pretty good. Before we... Now we should get more houses finished, just so that we can start employing more and more construction workers. Two vacancies for job sites for men. That's not good. I wonder what these vacancies are. No way that there's two vacancies. Ooh, they finished another village house. So that means that someone else should move in pretty soon. And was that every single one of our initial village houses? Yeah, it is. That's pretty cool. So what I want to do is actually let's mark trees for demolition, and let's go through and just mark literally all of this so that we can start clearing out this forest here for what's it called? Some potential expansions in this direction in terms of additional housing. More and more crops for us to grow. More and more population for us to support. Just want to make sure that we're getting literally all of these trees, and that should be it. So there's that. storage. Let's finish these houses first and then get the well done, then the warehouse. I believe we got some new people coming in, right? No housing available. Yes, we had to have gotten a new worker somewhere. Somewhere, I hope. Cool. As we can see, the honey and the dried fruit are like maxed out. So I figure that if we had another granary over here and they didn't have dried fruit or honey, they would come over here to gather it, right? That is really the hope that we're going for here. Same thing with marrow and stuff. And then this is also pretty good because it'll let us know if there's any goods that like aren't being produced. And if we notice that all of the goods aren't, like we don't have enough, then that means that, you know, famine is right around the corner. So lots of really cool purposes for this, I would believe. And as you can see, our money is steadily going up now because we're taxing anyone who has too much money. Right? That's not fair. This is our money. Cool. I wish that there was a key binding for like getting rid of the HUD. I would honestly sit here and play this entire game without the HUD. Cool. New village house finished. And that should be people moving in, right? Yes. Oh, there we go. So they have 2 children, but they also have a grandparent, 73. He's probably going to end up dying at some point relatively soon. And so that means that we're probably going to need to set up some, what's it called, some, like, not funeral, some grave sites at some point. That'll probably be pretty good. Yeah, I just can't wait to see what our little town looks like in the end. As you can imagine, it's just going to get better and better the more population we have. Let's hire in, or open up the next slot. As you might have noticed, we're up another 100 ducats. Pretty close to 1,500. And I'm curious, we have probably 10 or 11. No, we probably have like 10 families here. I mean, I guess I could just count the amount of houses we have, but each house technically, we started with 2,000. And so each house times 10, that's how much money will be out. And then we'll never get that money back. There's no way for us to really get it But technically, like, all of our money that we started with is in our little town. That's like a major thing. We're never gonna lose it. The population will always have it. They're not gonna just like give the money away or bury it or something, right? Like, it's always gonna be here. And so what that means is that if we do any amount of trading, no matter what, as long as we turn a profit, even if we're buying iron for 20 cents and selling iron goods for 25 cents, as long as there's profit to be made, you will end up netting money. It just takes time and just a little bit of know-how. And as long as you went and did the same setups that I did for our treasury, just these numbers here, you might want to pause it here if you're going to do what I'm doing and get a good look at it all. Village house rent, apartment rent, 75 or 0.75. Land tax as low as it can go, that's above 0. Wealth tax is 5. Wealth tax threshold as low as you can go at 10. Taverns tax, barbers, surgeries, not really worried about that right now. Market products price 20, 20%. Purchase from citizens price 10%, and then the basic monthly wage, laborer's wage, we're going with 1 ducat. So technically, if there was an exceptionally lively family, like if they had like 2 managers and then like a couple of people doing other jobs, they could make it past, they could make more money per month than the wealth tax, which would mean that as long as all of them are alive and all of them are continuing to do their jobs, they would actually be the only family that would be, you know, making more than our wealth tax threshold of 10, right? But for now, nobody should have more than 10 ducats. Like, everyone will have less. 10 ducats or less. That's the limit. I don't think they're gonna finish it in this rotation of workers. But they never fail to surprise, so there's that. That's pretty cool. Do we have... Yes, we have everything we need. A new family should move in relatively soon. The water well, and then a warehouse, and then the construction office. Construction office is going to be pretty important because once we start getting a lot of additional families moved in, we'll be able to simply just send them to work in our construction office, and that'll be huge. So let's see how many people moved in. They had a grandmother with them, and then even these guys are getting kind of old, but their daughter is almost an adult, so that's kind of cool. Nice, nice, nice. They finished one of the water wells. I think that's every water well. Let's demolish this one over here. Queue that up for demolishing the camp storage. As soon as we get this warehouse finished, we can demolish that. And then I should probably queue up a, what's it called, actual cart building for us. I believe it's going to be cart parking. Thinking about it, where is going to be best? Probably over here by our, these buildings, the construction office and the mayor's office. Probably going to be best there. And so I'm not sure if you noticed, but we've been rotating all of the buildings just 90 degrees. That's why we are getting relatively straight buildings. If you go through and like do custom angles and stuff, it starts to get a bit messy. And I think that's fine. I really actually kind of like that about this game. Just, you can create really organic little settlements and stuff, but I can be a bit obsessive and compulsive at the best of times, so I try and keep everything as straight as possible. At some point I am going to inevitably angle something, and then it'll be doomed forever. We'll never be able to get it back to that perfect right angle. But for now I might as well get as much out of it as I can. Cart parking, warehouse. Let's do the cart parking next. Yes, let's do that here. How are we doing on these goods here? We have 15 metal parts, and the nails just need to be produced. How's our charcoal doing? Starting to chew through it a bit. Laborers by hands only. We don't want, you know, them to waste a bunch of carts just gathering some firewood. You don't need a cart for all that. Oh, they finished the car parking that quick. That's cool. So now I believe we can just drag and drop these all to here. And then once they're done with them, then we can demolish this camp cart parking. No plot for a burial. Oh no, someone died. That lady that just moved in. How unfortunate. Now we just got a dead body sitting around somewhere. Okay, so maybe what we do is a bit of planning in terms of, let's figure where we want our little chapel to go. Kind of thinking like this. A burial plot. Maybe what we do is we do a bit of planning with the decorations. Let's do, I want to match, yeah, this is the same fence. So let's give them like that wide of a little road. And then we can go down to, I'm thinking maybe, yeah, let's go to here. And then it would be nice if we actually had the grass. Be a bit easier to tell right angles and whatnot. I'm hoping that that's okay. Let's get a good look at it before we fully commit to this. And I kind of wish that I would have put a, what's it called here instead. Like at least a small arch or something. I mean, it's fine. And you know what probably would have been better is actually to do like a brick fence. I think they actually have to construct these, right? Maybe not though. Yeah, let's demolish that. And you. And let's do decoration. Let's do... That's too big. That's way too big. Keep it simple and do a nice small arch here. And then we can do decoration brick fence too. Is this one smaller? It is. Look at that. Let's try and go out exactly that many. Let's demolish you. Demolish you. Demolish you. Yeah, see, I hate that. The fact that it doesn't... It's not like completely right angles, and like... My only issue with that is like you'll be kind of like looking at your little city and stuff and you'll just notice it. I think it actually... I think it looks fine. That looks fine. Like genuinely, I feel that looks okay. Demolish up the back one then, and let's do... a long brick fence along here. Okay, I like that. And because we did that, that way we can do the burial plots now. Maybe we don't do them right up against it, and we only leave one row. So that way we can come through and do the exact same thing on the other side. How do we get away with it on that side, but not this side? How many do they have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's 6. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep. See, it's because it must not be even. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pillars, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pillars. Yeah, okay, so it's not even on that side or on this side. So we're just going to have to accept the fact that we're not going to be able to fit quite as many. So let's do maybe something like this. Yeah, I'm content with that. Cool. So now we have that going for us, and let's do a bit of pine trees, can we? Kind of thinking we can do 2 pine trees in the back here. Oh no, not a cottonwood. 2 pine trees here, and then 1 here, not 1 here, and then let's do 1 here. And then we can do probably just a number of bushes. Let's do dog rose bushes, I'd say. Can do 1 there. Can we rotate these? No. Let's do 1 here, and then maybe 1 right in front of the church itself. I think that has got to look good. And I don't want to leave, like, what's it called? Some benches out here, because then they're going to want to come hang out in the graveyard, which I don't think is very healthy. This doesn't have any carts in it, so we can demolish that now. And did they finish the storage? Yes, they did. Cool, so let's get everything out of this. So 200 iron and a bit of thatch. Let's get the 300 iron, right? 280, and we have 300, and then let's do the thatch. Let's make that also 300 just to guarantee it, and then all we gotta do is make empty, really make empty. So some people should get rid of that. These people don't have firewood, that's kind of spooky. Let's set up a market stall for that then. Cool. And we'll just do 1 thing of firewood. Let's do clothes. Let's do the warm clothes and then shoes. We don't have any of these goods right now, but with a bit of time we will. Let's hire in a female worker. Cool, so that's perfect. So she'll, in the very least, be able to gather some firewood for people to come and buy. Construction office. We do have people working in this forestry, so that shouldn't be much of an issue. Yeah, plenty of trees to cut down as well. And then a well to deconstruct. Now, trying to think about it. Maybe we actually don't do the little hangout area and we do a trading post here instead, like right here. What if we rotate this twice? Can we fit this here? We can. But it doesn't leave a lot of room. I mean, do we just say screw it and do it? I don't like it there though. Well, you know what? Maybe we do here. What if we do it right here? What about up against this? No. We need this building. This is like mission critical because first off, it's going to allow us to sell our charcoal. Second off, we need to buy iron and we need to buy all the clothing and stuff. So, and then third off, we can actually open up our iron mine over here and start selling that. And that'll be huge because we have an infinite supply of it. So, lots to think about. Let's move this well up. Just get that done now. And does this have any firewood? No, they've only got bark. Oh, they'll actually sell firewood. I didn't know that. It's going to times 12 speed. Is that times 12? Demolition's finished finally. Let's demolish this and that. What is this? We need this trading post down. That's like gonna be pretty much like the most important of things. Maybe we do it here. Ah, it's uneven terrain. See, this is what I'm talking about. It's like not that uneven, right? It's so annoying. I wish that it would let you do it anyways. Do we just say screw it and do it here? No, I'm kind of thinking that we do storage and stuff out here. Maybe what we do is this. Ooh, maybe what we do is this. What is it clipping into here? Place is occupied by what? Oh, some trees are in the way. Well, not anymore. Well, I guess it is. Oof. Yeah, I think we're gonna do it here. And scoot it back a bit like that. Okay. We should probably move this here. We should do this next. It's gonna be pretty important pretty soon. And that should show us which way that the trade routes are coming in from. Our first episode here is coming to an end. It's been pretty fun setting up this little population, and really this is just like the beginning. Once we really get into the later on stuff, it'll be really exciting. We'll get to build all sorts of really cool stuff, and what I'm thinking is that we'll build like this population center up a bit, and then we'll move on to the next population center. I think that'll be really interesting to see come together. Yeah, I think that'll be really, really cool. So we'll build this one up. They'll be producing iron, and then maybe we'll build another one and it's like all about farms. Then we'll build another one that's all about smelting our iron, and then maybe we'll build one up that's about like producing alcohol, and then we'll build another one up that's all about producing bricks or something like that. We'll build all these different population centers up, and then slowly as time goes on just add little extensions to them, and then eventually the entire map. That's like my ultimate goal, is to make it to where the entire map is being used up. I think that'll be pretty cool to see. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, be sure to leave a like, and if you want to follow along with the rest of this series or the rest of any of the other series that I got going on the channel, then be sure to subscribe. Peace.